Thanks for checking out another new podcast from the Association for Materials Protection and Performance. Of course, we're best known as AMP for short. As always, I'm your host, Ben DuBose, news editor with the AMP Publications team. In that role, I create content for both Materials Performance Magazine and Coatings Pro Magazine, both of which are member magazines of AMP. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome in the new technical editor of Materials Performance, Mersedeh Akhoondan. Mersedeh, thank you for joining us. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your career background, both in terms of your education and your roles within the industry?
Well, hi, Ben. Thank you for having me today. So, I've been serving as a corrosion specialist for past 12 years at HDR Engineering. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of Florida, Texas, and New York. My role at HDR focuses on condition assessment and the design of corrosion mitigation system and service life monitoring of for various structures, including water and wastewater facilities, transportation infrastructure such as bridges, light rail transit system, solar and power installation, and hydraulic structure. My background, I hold a bachelor and master degree in civil engineering, as well as a PhD in corrosion engineering from University of South Florida in Tampa, Florida. And I have also earned a minor degree in material science and engineering. I'm a licensed AMP cathodic protection technologist and also hold the AMP breach coating inspector certification. Over the years, I have been lucky to author and co-author several publications presented at AMP, the American Water Work Association (AWWA), and the Water Research Foundation and the National Academy of Science and Engineering.
So you're obviously involved on a number of fronts. What are some of the key challenges that you have worked on or you are working on? Just from an industry-wide perspective, what are the areas of subject matter expertise for you?
So for me, HDR, the company that I work for, is a multidisciplinary company with over 200 offices in 15 countries. This has provided me with the opportunity to work on wide range of projects addressing diverse corrosion issues. While the fundamental principle of corrosion stays the same across the board, the solution to corrosion problems varies significantly depending on the discipline and the project requirements. One of the most significant challenges that we face as corrosion engineers, particularly the ones that are dealing with multidisciplinary design groups, is to develop a customized and optimal solution tailored to each project's unique needs and available resources. Addressing this challenge requires critical thinking, extensive experience, familiarity with client expectation and project condition, and staying current with emerging technologies and products. I would say that's a key challenge for me and any other corrosion engineer working with such a multidisciplinary design groups.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer as far as what you've been working on over your career and especially the last few years. When we spin it forward and look at what's on the horizon, do you see any technologies or trends that are especially on your radar as far as what the key challenges may be over the next few years?
Hmm. Another good question. Well, Ben, as you know, artificial intelligence AI is having a profound impact on our daily lives and profession, and particularly in corrosion industry as well, which is no exception. While AI offers numerous benefits and can streamline many processes, there is a concern about over-reliance on technology at the expense of critical thinking. I plan to closely monitor the role of AI that plays in our industry, particularly in how it can be enhance the technical content of material performance journal. And my goal will be to ensure to provide our audience with up-to-date information on the influence of AI on corrosion trends and technologies and solutions. For example, for upcoming July issue that is focused on global corrosion, we are planning to publish two AI related articles, and I hope that be interesting to a lot of readers.
Definitely. We had a webcast that I produced early in the year that I thought was really interesting. And I think it's amazing how much traffic, as someone that manages web platforms, that AI related content generates because people are so curious. So, yeah, I think those articles are going to be very well received. And since you brought up MP, let's talk about your association world and the experience there, because clearly your role with HDR, that's a full-time job. You're very busy, yet you go the extra mile to be involved with certainly AMP as an association, MP as a member magazine. Where did that start for you? What's your history with AMP and/or the legacy associations? How have they helped your career, and, why are they, worth the time investment on top of what you already do with HDR?
Well, I began my involvement with AMP, formerly NACE, in 2006 as a student member, presenting at one of those student poster sessions. I am deeply grateful to the association for sparking my interest in corrosion science and opening up the entirely new career opportunities for me. AMP has played a pivotal role in my professional growth by providing access to a global network and technical resources, as well as industry recognitions.
One of the common things that I hear when I ask our members why it's a worthwhile time investment to them is that beyond wanting to serve the broader good, it also helps them at their job because collectively there's things we can do together working, pooling resources that an individual member or member company can't do on their own. So from that perspective, what can associations like ours do that can't be done individually? Why is it worth the time and effort to get involved and collaborate with other people across the industry?
Well, for any professional band, active engagement with association relevant to their field is very, very important. Association like AMP offer unparalleled networking opportunities and keep the members informed of new technologies and industry trends, providing essential trainings to enhance their skills and offer certification for to strengthen professional credentials and career development. As a corrosion professional, we are all very fortunate to have a globally recognized association such as AMP, which provide us with comprehensive support in all of these areas that discussed, such as networking, certifications, and career development.
Let's talk specifically about MP. What's been your history with the magazine, and what was it that made you want to get more involved over the years?
So I have been a subscriber to Material Performance MP Journal since joining the AMP back in 2006. Over the years, I have published several articles at MP and find it to be very accessible and practical resource for corrosion professionals. The journal focuses on the real world corrosion issues and the mitigation application, and I have personally frequently referenced many MP articles in my own daily work, project work with HDR. So when I was offered the opportunity to take a leadership role with MP, I was both eager and honored to contribute further to a publication that has been such a valuable resource to me and the industry.
Yeah, and let's talk specifically about that role. You're going to be the new technical editor. What are you hoping to accomplish? Why is it worthwhile?
Well, my primary goal as a technical editor is to enhance the quality and relevance of technical content we publish. And that is based on the feedback that our readers and subscribers give us. MP Journal serves a diverse audience with varying professional backgrounds. Each issue features four articles, technical articles, that I aim to provide a balanced selection that appeals to all of segments of our readership. So, for example, I hope to include the article that cover academic research and another one on practical field application, design methodologies, monitoring strategies, and emerging technologies. This variety will ensure that our content meets the evolving needs and interests of our global audience.
What's the transition process been like for you? Because, well, I shouldn't act like it's concluded because I know in some ways it's still going on. But what has the transition been like, and how are other staff slash magazine members helping you during this process?
Well, it has been definitely a very pleasant progress. The entire MP team has been incredibly welcoming and supportive throughout this transition. I'm especially grateful for Jack Tinnea for his lifelong dedication to MP and his significant contribution to the corrosion industry. His support and guidance has been instrumental in helping me transition into this role. If you don't know Jack, Jack is an inspiring individual with a remarkable life story. From his service in the Vietnam War to his recovery from a rare form of stomach cancer, and to his love of skiing with his grandchildren, and his successful business venture in corrosion field. His contribution to corrosion committees and standards, and particularly MP Journal, are immeasurable. I sincerely hope that he will write a book to share his incredible life journey with all of us. I would like to also extend my gratitude to Rebecca Beckham, Anthony Pong, and Clary Cole, and you, Ben, for continuous support and assistance along this journey.
Appreciate that. And as far as Jack, I'm hoping to actually get him on the podcast within the next few weeks. I know he's retiring in April, so I would love to pick his brain about his life story and some of the highlights from his extensive career. And so that can be almost a part two of this podcast. We'll hopefully have that in the coming weeks because Jack definitely deserves all the flowers for what he's accomplished in this role and in the corrosion field overall. He's a great guy, amazing story. And so I love that you singled him out. I also think it's interesting. Rebecca is our managing editor in chief. Now you're on as technical editor. That's two women in very forward facing positions. I know that can be something of a minority in this industry. If that's something that, resonates with you, and at least for me, it's a fun thing to see this magazine have a diverse leadership team. And it feels like you and Rebecca are in two very forward facing roles now for MP. Is that something that you take pride in?
Definitely, definitely. Rebecca is a amazing person to work with, and she's been very supportive and helpful for me. Back in 2006, when I joined AMP, I believe the female engineers and female professionals in the corrosion industry were minority. But over the years, I have seen many, many successful professional female engineers and professionals in the industry. And I'm not sure if we are minority anymore, but this is such an honor and great to have another female professional supporting me through this journey.
Yeah, I'm about to hit my 9-year anniversary. And yeah, you're exactly right.
Diverse now.
Yeah, it feels much more diverse. It stands out less now in 2025 relative to when I started in 2016 for sure. And so from that perspective, yeah, it's only fitting that, two of the more forward-facing roles within MP are now represented by women. And so I'm happy to be a part of it. And I think you'll be a great resource for us. And also it'll represent the industry very well because certainly as a magazine that covers the industry, you want to make sure that we're representing the industry and not just honing in on one or two specific demographics. So as
Yep.
far as MP as a publication, I think the backbone of a journal like Materials Performance is the technical articles and the technical content. And so there's always questions about, well, first off, is it worth the time investment to put one of these articles together? And then secondly, is this the right publication? Because obviously, if you take the time to put together a good technical article that's of value to the industry at large, there's lots of potential outlets for that because it's really good information and you've taken a lot of time, you in this case being the author, to put it together. So, in your role as technical editor, obviously you're going to be in charge to an extent of compiling these articles and getting the best information that we can. What's your pitch for why someone listening, A, should submit an article, and B, what is it about MP that makes this publication special, that makes this publication the right one for them to send that article to?
Excellent question, Ben. I personally believe that MP Journal is very special in the sense that MP Journal is very easily accessible resource for corrosion professional around the world. The articles are very concise and focused, making them more approachable than traditional conference proceeding or academic journals. This format allows readers to quickly gain the insight that can be applied in their daily work. As I mentioned, I personally reference many of the MP journals through the years for my daily projects. I encourage everybody that has interesting topics to submit their articles for review and consideration for MP Journal. And for those that have previously published an AMP conference paper, the process is very streamlined and they can submit a condensed version of that conference paper for MP publication.
And as a quick follow-up to that, is there anything that particularly stands out to you when you're sorting through these entries, these proposals, these candidates for articles? Is there anything that especially stands out to you when you're reading these as being worthwhile for publication?
Well, the nature of MP Journal is to have articles that are very concise, down to the point, and applicable for daily projects for most of our audience. We do also have articles that also gets into the deep academic research as well for those audience that are in academic fields. However, the special thing about these publications and the content is that the paper is only 2,000 words. So the entire content has to be very concise and down to the point and direct with simple conclusions. So it makes it an easy read for our readers. So that's a special thing about the content and what is standing out about the publication in MP.
Yeah, that's a good answer, and I would agree with that. I think, we have some that are in the ballpark of, as little as 1,200 to 1,500 words, and those are much easier for online distribution as well, which our handle for our website, materialsperformance.com. And so the secret sauce is being thorough enough to have valuable information, but be short enough that it's bite-sized
Exactly.
and that people can read it, without a huge time commitment. And that's what MP's done a good job of. And so being able to concisely get the information across in a bite-sized format, yeah, that's a good answer. And I think that's something that, the word count needs to be thorough enough to get your information across, but not so much that it's too much of a time commitment for the audience. That's what we're searching for. And certainly it makes sense in the print magazine, but it makes even more sense for the website. And I think that's the direction that we're going and the industry is increasingly going over the next few years. Speaking
Exactly.
of, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to add that I'm really hoping that for the people, for the professional subscribers that are looking at the magazine, they could be on a lunch break or they could be sitting in the bus
Yep.
and in metro system, and they can have their journal with them, and that would be a quick but very very useful and down to the point a read for them. So it would help them with their projects. It would be useful, but it's not that extensive that requires very thorough analysis of what the data is. It's just that it has to be concise and down to the point.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the type of thing they can pull up on their phone and read it with
Yeah,
one hand on their lunch break, that kind of thing.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. So I mentioned the years ahead. Is there anything new that you're hoping to do or emphasize in your role in terms of the future outlook and what's coming down the pike?
Sure. Um, I personally would like to emphasize on the importance of honest feedback and suggestion from our MP Journal subscribers. Their insight is going to be very valuable in helping us improve the technical content and overall quality of the journal. So I encourage my colleagues and all the subscribers to reach out to me or the MP staff with their thoughts on how we can improve the content and better serve our corrosion community.
For anyone listening that wants to get in touch with you or has follow-up questions about some of the information that you've shared, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
I believe the best way to contact me is through my new AMP email address, which is my first name, Mersedeh, dot my last name, Akhoondan, at amp.org. And I would be very happy to respond to any questions that they may have as soon as I'm able to and I receive them.
And as far as the spelling, we'll have that in the summary and headline of this podcast. So if anyone isn't sure based on our audio conversation, again, just look at the summary and the headline wherever it is that you're listening, and then first name dot last name at ampp.org. Mercedes, thank you so much for the time.
Well, I just wanted to thank you, Ben, for this opportunity, and I appreciate the audience taking the time to listen to this podcast. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you. All right, that will do it for today. Great stuff from Mersedeh Akhoondan, our new technical editor at MP. Again, you can contact her at firstname.lastname@amp.org. Same for me, same for any staff member of AMP. And of course, you can see her work in the Materials Performance print issues, and many of those articles will be on our website as well over the remainder of this year, the coming months, and hopefully years ahead. Just go to materialsperformance.com or pull up your latest print issue. All right, with that, we will bring this to a close. On behalf of AMP, I'm Ben DuBose, and if you want more resources from AMP or our publications within the association, such as MP, just visit amp.org or the aforementioned materialsperformance.com. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon with another new episode.